Hi, my name is Carrie. You might know me as K Warning or from my shop, 8-Bit Stitch. Well, you guys have spoken. It seems like you like Flosstube videos, which is great. I enjoy recording them, so this should be a fun time. I surprisingly have a lot to share. I'm not sure how frequently these videos are going to come out just based on how much progress I have at the moment, but I actually do have a lot of updates for this video. First off, I found more whips. How is that even possible? I found whips I didn't even know I had. I mean, now that I see them, I remember starting them, but they just like popped up out of nowhere. But actually what I want to start with today is a correction. So I showed you guys this piece in my last video. It's by my friend Petite Mushroom. And I told you, well, I forgot to tell you during the video what the stitch was actually going to say, but I added a little subtitle down below to tell you what the pattern was going to say. That subtitle was wrong. I told you the wrong thing. I actually have not started that coral quote that I put on the last video. I've cut the Aida for it, but I haven't started it. So this one is actually, again, by the same designer, Petite Mushroom. However, it's going to say, stay sassy and a bit badassy. I guess I should have known that by these half words that I created, but I didn't notice that. So that's a correction. This is a completely different pattern than what I said it was. Oh, another correction. In my last video, I mentioned that all of these whips were started in 2018 during Stitch Mania. They were actually started in 2019 during Stitch Mania. I have this trend of like not knowing what day or month it is right now, but apparently I can't remember what year I started pieces in either. So they're not as old as we all previously thought, but it's still gotten a little out of hand. Okay, so on to the new whips that I found. This is a pattern by Lindy Stitches. It is in another city. I relate to this pattern because I live in a city where none of my family lives. So my family is kind of scattered all across the United States. And I thought it was really cute, loved the colors, and I'm really excited to get some more work on this. My next new whip that I discovered is a pattern by Stitchrovia. I love patterns by Stitchrovia. I love her font work. I love her color choices. This one I do remember making a mistake on. There is something going on at the top. I've gotten a lot of feedback on my Instagram where people think that the mistake is. I did decide to fake it till I make it because I just really didn't feel like frogging out these little scissors. They just looked so cute, and I figured I could get this little heart ribbon to look just fine, and everything at the bottom will probably line up just fine. Here's hoping I can just fake this till I make it and I don't have to frog it and redo it. Okay, next new discovered whip. Happy Christmas by the Prairie Schooler. I loved working on this. I'm stitching it on 18 count black Aida. I'm using variegated threads for this one, made by Hand Dyed by Rolanda. And for the sparkly white snowy tops of the houses, well, I mean all the snow really, not just the tops of the houses, I'm using this silk lame braid. It's sparkly and glow in the dark. And I'm really liking how it's turning out. So I started this during, I believe, Stitch Mania. I think I started this during Stitch Mania. And then I got a lot of my progress done on this during Stitchmas in July this year. So really, all that needs to be done on this guy is to put some more snow on the roofs here and then finish the roofs up here, and then it's complete. So I will more than likely finish this December. I would be shocked if I didn't. This is the only ongoing Christmas piece that I have right now, so I feel like this is what I'm going to be working on in December. I have hopes for a finish for this one. And my last newly discovered whip, my little Cactus. I got this kit from, I believe I got it from Michael's, and it's meant to be a punch needle kit. And I've done punch needle before on like a large canvas, but not like a cotton fabric like this. And I started to do it as a punch needle, and the fabric was just tearing apart. It was not gonna work that way. So I was actually live streaming while I was working on this piece, and myself and my chat decided that the way to remedy the situation would be to turn it into an all French knot piece. So I am filling this guy in with French knots, and I'm really happy with how he's coming out. I think he's really cute, and it's really good French knot practice. Something else I wanted to let you guys know about was a new app that I'm using to organize my whips. This was recommended to me by my friend Bookworm Jenna. I believe my friend Jenna Cross Stitches also uses this app. It's called Tiny Decisions. It's an app where you can create your own spin wheel. You can add a bunch of different options, change the weight of the chances for each option, click the button, it'll spin the wheel and make a decision for you. So I've input all my whips into this Tiny Decisions app, and this is how I've been deciding what project I'm going to work on. It's actually been working really nicely for me. I do have some projects I want to show you today that have some progress on them, and that really is thanks to that app, because if it wasn't for that app, I really probably only would have been working on my black fillet project, but I actually have touched some other projects because the wheel told me to. So yeah, the app is free. This video isn't sponsored or anything. I just thought it was helpful, especially with the amount of whips that I have at the moment. On to the progress. So I mentioned in my last video that I was making 2 of the Witchy Stitcher Wouldst Thou Like to Live Deliciously pieces, and I said in my last video that I was probably going to be starting that second piece. So here it is, the second one. So just gotten some letters done on that, and I really enjoyed stitching this one, so I don't think it's gonna feel repetitive to do it again. I did get another letter done in my No Mistakes, Just Happy Little Accident pattern. So I did finish the H and have moved on to the P. This deceptively took me quite a long time. I think it's because the letters are so large. I'm stitching this on 18 count, and they really are kind of big, so deceptive that this took me maybe a couple hours. I'm also a fast stitcher, so I think the amount of time it makes me to stitch isn't comparable sometimes, but I'm not trying to like throw out a brag out there, but I am a fast stitcher. Not a brag, just a fact. I also have some progress on the We Are All Mad Here by Magic Stitching. This is probably the biggest amount of progress I have. I was just going to town on this thing on one of my day offs, watching some YouTube videos and just stitching along. I am stitching this over 2 on black sparkly 28 count, so it is a little difficult. And I stopped because I've made a mistake somewhere and I can't find it. So I think we might also fake this one till we make it, because I don't really like the idea of frogging black 28 counts. We'll see how this goes. It's probably going to not be touched until the wheel tells me I have to. And my last piece in which I have some progress is the Happy Little Stitch Along. So every 5 weeks during the Happy Little Stitch Along, I would release a smaller pattern than the other 4 weeks, and that was kind of to give us all a breather in between these very large chunks of all coverage pieces. So I actually finished piece 26, which was one of those small pieces. I now have 4 more pieces to go to finish, and I'm going to probably continue with a mix of cross country and parking to kind of dwindle this down. But it felt very good to finish a piece of this after not touching it for so long. I had 2 pieces that I didn't show in my last video that I did want to show in this video. These are 2 pieces that I started during Stitch Mania 2018, but I finished before starting my YouTube channel. The first piece is a kit that was gifted to me. I apologize, I don't have the packaging for this one anymore, so I do not know who the designer was. But one of my viewers on Twitch gifted this kit to me, and I thought it was cute. It comes with a little stand. It came with a couple different options for what pattern you could stitch on this, but I really thought this mountain piece was cute. We're gonna put that right here, and it will probably live there for a while. We'll see. This one was probably one of my favorites that I started during Stitch Mania. This is Crafty Bitch by The Stranded Stitch. I just think it's so cute. I like kind of want this tattooed on myself. This is so cute. So since I am not really in the market for getting a tattoo right now, I stitched it instead, and I love it. It's so pretty. I love the colors. I guess I should show you this. This is the Christmas Sampler by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Their patterns are so chibi and cute. I love them. This will not be the last pattern I stitch from them. This I also started during Stitchmania 2018, and it is a FFO, so I have framed this and everything. Just framed it last week. I did finish this during Stitchmas in July this year. So it is finally framed, and I will put this in my house as decoration this year for Christmas. I am so happy with it. It's stitched over to 28 count. It's like a linen sparkly 28 count. Not sure if you can see the sparkle in it. And yeah, it's super fun. And drum roll, please, we have some finishes since the last video. The little turret from Portal. This pattern was made for me by my friend Petite Mushroom. And if you guys remember, the last time you saw it, it was just a line. The wheel told me I needed to work on it, and I finished it in one day. So it feels good to have a finish. And the next one, I'm so proud of this finish. It's so beautiful. Ah, isn't it gorgeous? I love it. So this is Wouldst Thou Like to Live Deliciously by the Witchy Stitcher. I found this frame at Hobby Lobby. Again, this piece is stitched over 2 on 28 count, so it is 14 in the end, but it makes it look really vintage. And I have framed, I feel, multiple pieces in frames like this from Hobby Lobby. I want to say they're probably my favorite craft store for frames. I wish their morals were a little better and I didn't feel so bad about shopping there, but their picture frames are really, really beautiful, okay? The guilt. I have guilt. Don't come for me. I have guilt. So yeah, I picked up 2 of these frames. When I get the next one finished, it will look exactly like this. I'm very happy with my choices on this one. Now I just need to convince my husband that this is something that needs to hang in our house all year round. And I have one last thing to show you guys. This is not something that I created. This is something that I ordered from a friend of mine. Look at this cute little Fat Sonic made by MotoRuxin. He's so adorable. I mainly wanted to show this to you because I needed to share with you guys how epic her shipping packaging was. She so carefully sandwiched this little guy in between foam in this little box. And she even texted me beforehand and was like, please let me know when he arrives. I'm so nervous that it's gonna get broken in transit. There was no way this thing was getting broken. It was packaged so wonderfully. So MotoRuxin around this time of year usually sells at a con in Fort Wayne, Indiana called FortCon. Due to COVID, she's not able to do that this year, so she is taking her finished pieces and selling them online. I will link you to the list of items that are available for sale below. And when I saw her video, I really thought that this guy was gonna be gone. So when I went on and saw it was available, I was like, oh, he's mine. So he's going to go in our arcade, and I'm super excited. I've loved him from the moment that she started stitching him. He's just so cute. Of course, I will link to all the designers that I mentioned down below. And now we count the whips. I still think I'm gonna have more than 12. Because even though I finished 2, I found 3. I also have projects that I've cut Aida for that I haven't actually started. So I wanna say I have like 3 of those. We're not counting those in this whip count, but they exist. They're a thing that exists. They will be started as things are finished. Because I went through this thing in 2018 where I was like, I have so many patterns that I have purchased from other designers that I want to stitch so badly. I'm always focusing on my patterns. And I just really wanted to stitch these patterns that I had accumulated over time. So that's what that Stitchmania was about, starting the patterns by other designers, which I don't regret. However, I feel like I haven't actually started a pattern made by myself in years, which is semi-true because I'm sure that there's been something I've started and finished during this time frame. But once this pile is finished, I really need to stitch some of my own patterns again. Okay, so back to counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. I have 15 whips. Hi, my name is Carrie and I have 15 whips. Whips anonymous. It's not anonymous, I just put it out in the world. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It really is gonna be okay because I have 2 finishes from the last video. It's only been a few weeks since I recorded the last video. So I've got 15, I have 2 finishes. I only have like 3 that I plan on starting as I finish. So we'll be done with this in like 2 more years. I don't know. Again, I'm a fast stitcher. If I just could get some time off work, and that's the other thing. I was on vacation last week, so I actually had time to stitch. So this could take even longer than I'm anticipating. It is what it is. 15 whips. That's everything for today. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and also subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, happy stitching. So let me just double check that that's correct. No, because you're not started. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then whatever is in this bag. I'm gonna be so mad if I find something else. What did I just say? What number did I just say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's why I mess up so much, guys. I can't count.